At 74, Linda thought forgetting small things was normal, until she forgot why she turned on
What?
the stove.
What is happening? I don't understand.
Linda Harper had lived in the same small house in Vermont for over 35 years. It was the kind of home that held memories in every corner. Family photos lined the hallway walls. Old recipe cards filled the kitchen drawer. A faded yellow chair sat beside the window where she drank coffee every morning. After her husband passed away 6 years earlier, the house became quieter. Too quiet sometimes. Still, Linda tried to keep life normal. She watered her flowers every morning, watched old sitcom reruns in the evenings. And every Sunday, her daughter Rachel called to check in. From the outside, Linda seemed fine, but slowly small things were beginning to change. At first, it was easy to dismiss. Linda would misplace her keys. Then she started forgetting appointments. One afternoon, she drove to the grocery store and couldn't remember why she was there. She stood beside the shopping carts for almost a full minute, staring blankly ahead. Eventually, she laughed it off. "Guess I'm getting old," she muttered to herself. But deep down, moments like that were starting to scare her. Not enough to tell anyone, but enough to notice. Rachel noticed the changes during their phone calls. At first, it was subtle. Linda repeated the same stories, asked the same questions twice. Then one evening, Rachel mentioned an upcoming family dinner. Linda paused. "What dinner?" Rachel froze. "Mom, we talked about this yesterday." There was silence on the phone. Then Linda forced a laugh. "Oh, goodness. My brain must be on vacation." But Rachel didn't laugh, because something about her mother's voice sounded different. Smaller. Nervous. A few days later, Linda forgot to pay her electricity bill. That had never happened before. Then she accidentally left her front door unlocked overnight. Still, she refused to believe anything was wrong. Because in Linda's mind, memory loss belonged to other people, not her. Not the woman who once managed a household, raised 2 children, and remembered every birthday in the family without writing anything down. So she ignored it. And like many seniors, she convinced herself it was just aging. Then came the Tuesday morning, the morning everything changed. Linda woke up feeling unusually tired. She shuffled into the kitchen, still wearing her robe, and decided to make oatmeal. She placed the pot on the stove, turned the burner on. Then, the phone rang. It was a telemarketer. The conversation lasted less than a minute. But when she hung up, something strange happened. Linda looked around the kitchen, confused. The pot sat on the stove. The burner glowed red, but she couldn't remember why she had turned it on. She stared at the stove silently. Her heart started beating faster. Not because of the burner, because of the realization for the
What was
first
it?
time. Linda
I
felt
can't
genuine
remember.
fear. Not
Why
embarrassment.
can't I remember?
Not forgetfulness. Fear. She turned the stove off and slowly sat down at the kitchen table. Then she began to cry. That evening, Rachel came over. She found Linda unusually quiet. No TV playing, no coffee brewing, just silence. Finally, Linda looked at her daughter and said something Rachel would never forget. "I think something's wrong with me." Rachel sat beside her as Linda explained what happened. The stove, the confusion, the fear. By the end of the story, Rachel already knew this wasn't normal aging anymore. The following week, Linda visited a neurologist. There were memory tests, brain scans, long conversations. Then came the diagnosis: early stage dementia. Linda stared at the doctor quietly while Rachel held her hand. The doctor explained that dementia often begins with small changes people ignore: forgetting conversations, losing track of tasks, repeating questions, confusion during familiar routines, and many families mistake it for normal aging. At first, while occasional forgetfulness can happen with age, certain warning signs should never be ignored, especially when memory problems begin affecting safety, daily tasks, conversations, decision-making. Early diagnosis matters because treatment, support, and lifestyle changes can help slow progression and improve quality of life. Life changed after Linda's diagnosis. Rachel started visiting more often. Medication reminders were placed around the house. The family began creating routines together. Some days were harder than others, but Linda stopped pretending nothing was wrong. And strangely, that honesty brought her peace. One evening, she sat beside the same kitchen window, watching the sunset paint the sky orange. Rachel handed her a cup of tea. Linda smiled softly and said, "I thought forgetting things made me weak." Then she looked at her daughter. "But asking for help saved me." Millions of seniors experience memory changes every year, and while some forgetfulness can be normal, certain signs should never be ignored. If someone you love is becoming more forgetful, pay attention, because the body whispers before it screams, and sometimes the smallest moments carry the biggest warnings. If this story reminded you of someone you care about, share it with them, and subscribe for more stories that could help protect the people we love most.